you're going to buy coins over $20,000, it's nice to have a pedigree if possible. If it's $100,000, now
It
most of us
better
can't
have one.
afford those things, but that's why these pedigreed coins that are pre-1970 are going for so much money, because nobody wants to touch the coins that they are pretty sure might be looted, even though they might be great coins. They don't want to have a problem down the road. And so it's just easier to have coins without problems. And not to say that every coin that comes up without a pedigree is going to have a problem, but when you're dealing with coins that are at that level, it draws a lot more attention. And so
I would also think that the other problem with that is that once they find a coin in your collection or in your inventory that is either fake pedigreed or, has a problem, now they're going to start to suspect every single coin that you have, and that's going to lower the value of your collection.
yeah, it just, people want to know why pedigree. Look, I think that some would say that people are way overpaying for pedigree coins, but you have a limited amount of coins that have great pedigrees, and you have a massive amount of high-end buyers that are looking for them. And so that's a supply and demand issue that's going to always bring strong money. And so there's a lot more coins without pedigrees than there are with pedigrees. And so it's just the way it is. And not to say that if you have a coin that's $100,000 without a pedigree, that's a problem, because sometimes people just lost the pedigree. I mean, that happens all the time. We buy coins and we say, well, it doesn't have a pedigree, but look at the old toning on it. We know it's got a pedigree somewhere. I just found I had an Agricola Tetradrachm that I bought from somebody over the counter, and it had no pedigree. They didn't have any information. And then I ended up doing some research and I got a hit, and it was from 1906.
Wow.
Had a pedigree back to 1906, and it was part of the Athens duplicate collection that they sold off in 1906. So now I added a lot of value to the coin because of the pedigree, but just because a coin, and the coin was like $10,000-$15,000, it wasn't 50,000, but at the same time, like, it didn't have a pedigree when I bought it.
Right.
Doesn't mean that every coin is looted newly, because every coin is looted at one point. Could have been 50 years ago when nobody cared and all these stuff where people were just walking out with the stuff. There was no laws governing any of this stuff that 50 years ago.
Right.
So, a lot of this is more new phenomenon for the most part. So, I mean, think about it, like even people flying on planes, and there was very light security going through, and people were smoking on planes, and it wasn't a big deal.
It wasn't that hard, right?
No, not hard at all. So, and coins are small and were easily transportable. So a lot of people, even today, like I just talked to somebody who went to Italy and brought a coin out of Italy. They bought from some dealer, claimed that, oh, you could take it out. And I said, well, if you would have gotten stopped, they may have confiscated it from you. And because you're not supposed to, they're not supposed to export coins out of Italy. But he just walked out. It was in his pocket and just walked out with it. He had no idea. But that's my point, is like coins are easy to take out. It's not, whether you're trying to smuggle or you are smuggling, it's like,
yeah, it's like, but you don't want to F around and find out. I mean,
no, of course not. Of course not. And I'm not saying that anybody should try to loot. When people ask me, people say, I'm going to Italy. Well, who should I go see? And I'm like, nobody.
Yeah.
You can't buy anything. But my point is that don't be so concerned that every coin that doesn't have a pedigree is going to be a problem. Most of the time, you have to have evidence, like a BBC report of the guy who found it, or, somebody faking a pedigree and they find out that it was faked, and why they faked it, because it was looted. There's got to be physical evidence of why it was taken out of the source country recently for them to be able to say that that country owns it again. So don't be afraid yet, guys.
Not yet.
My point. And so I think we talk about triumphs and the beauty of collecting ancient coins in the market, but there is a bad side. And so I think that as a community, we need to talk about it and bring it to, we can't just sweep it under the rug and not talk about it. I think it's important to talk about so that we can educate people, so they do the right thing, they follow the rules, and they are responsible.
There is an ugly underbelly to almost every business. And so, coin collecting is no different. Ancient coins are no different. And your integrity and your name are really the only thing you have, and you get one shot at it. So value that.